In the Swing of Things, simple golf tips to improve your game.
Hi, I'm here with Jim Petrolia at the San Gabriel Country Club in San Gabriel, California. He's worked with thousands of players and many tour players. His most famous, Steve Pate. We'll be right back. Jim, what is one of the things that you work with Steve on that would really benefit the average player?
Well, I think if I have Steven demonstrate how he used to take the club away from the golf ball when he was younger, before he turned professional and stuff, I think you'll get an idea of some very basic problems that most amateurs have. He took the club way to the inside with his hands, and it became very independent. We developed a simple exercise where I asked Steven to put the butt end of the club in his navel or belt buckle area and try to make sure that it stayed connected, so that he had to begin to turn his trunk to get the club moving. The only task that he has, if you turn and face me for a second, along with this is that he's got to make sure he begins to get the club head up in the air, because if he leaves it down, it'll still get in behind him. So the hinge action has to start. And so we started out with that, and he was very diligent in working on it, which is one of the reasons why I succeeded. And then we graduated to the golf ball, stage 2, and he couldn't really hold the club in here while he was doing it, but very close to it. And then again, just hitting balls, feeling the body hitting the golf ball. And he'll demonstrate a few of these, and you'll see that he can get that golf ball going pretty good without much of an arm motion. From this, he began to smooth out his takeaway and get his swing to flow a lot more. It was a lot less independent.
Besides the physical corrections it makes, it's a real feel-oriented thought, and something you can take out and think about and use as a thought while you're playing instead of just on a driving range.
If he makes this a little bigger, all he really does is add a little bit more body turn to it and lets the momentum of the initial motion get the club moving. And before you know it, you'll have that club up in the air pretty far and be starting to work into full swing. Most of the amateur players are always working so hard with the arms, which moves the body all over the place, and that's why you have so much trouble. So if you watch his feet, for example, when he does this, his feet remain very flat, very anchored on the ground, and that's also very stable, consistent position. And I think if you work on this little exercise and begin to develop with it, you might see a lot of improvement in your game.
Well, Jim, thanks for that simple drill. I mean, I can see how that's going to help amateurs if it helps touring professionals.
I prefer to think that if it'll help him, it'll help anybody.
Okay. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
See you next time on In the Swing of Things.
In the Swing of Things is sponsored in part by TaylorMade, Titleist, and Bolay.